All right, Bucky, you are grading all the rookie classes for each team in the league. We're looking at the NFC South now, and I'm going to start off with the Panthers. My good friend Marcus Kiprios has been excited about Shaq Thompson for forever. He was happy to see him have a good rookie year for Carolina.
He did have a very good debut season, playing alongside Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis. He learned how to play the linebacker position. There were questions about whether Shaq Thompson would be able to get it done, but I would say he certainly got it done. Very, very impressive rookie season.
Yeah, overall grade for Carolina, by the way.
Overall grade for Carolina, I give him a B because I thought it was a very good year for them. There wasn't a lot of expectations for them. They made their way to the Super Bowl. Their young guys made plays. Shaq Thompson being one. There you see 48 tackles, a sack, 3 tackles for loss, a couple hits, and a couple pass defense. I think you feel good about him because you can put him in. He's a guy that stays on the field very, very active on that side of the ball.
DEVIN FUNCHESS started catching them in bunches, it seemed like, as the season wore on.
It really came on like game busters down the stretch. 5 touchdowns in the last 9 games. He should really team with Kelvin Benjamin to give them a big 1-2 punch. When you think about this wide receiver core with Philly Brown and Ted Ginn, DEVIN FUNCHESS emerging maybe as a number 2 receiver opposite Kelvin Benjamin. I think you can be a little more excited about the receiving core and the progress that they made this year, and excited about what is to come.
Yeah, I felt like they maybe didn't get as much credit as they deserved, especially as the year wore on. Looking at the Falcons now, a B- for them.
Yeah, the Atlanta Falcons are a team under Dan Quinn. They're trying to change their identity, want to be a tougher, more physical football team. On defense, Vic Beasley contributed that. Speed rusher off the edge, has a knack for getting home. 4 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and 16 starts. I thought he's growing into the role of being kind of their difference maker off the edge. As he continues to add moves to the arsenal, I think he can be a dominant player off the edge.
I, as a fan, kind of thought Tevin Coleman might have made a bigger splash in his rookie season.
I thought he was going to make a big splash. Look, he had a solid first game of the year against the Philadelphia Eagles, got hurt. Then Devontae Freeman emerged and became the guy. So once you have that emergence by Devontae Freeman kind of changed his role. But I think Tevin Coleman can be a very, very good change of pace back. Big, fast, and physical in that offense. A one-cut system where you really ask the running back to stay and hit the backside of the hole. Tevin Coleman should be a good player.
All right, Saints, you gave a B-. Let's start off by looking at Andrews Pete, who came out of Stanford. Watching him at the Combine last year, just a big, imposing physical presence.
Big, imposing physical presence. Was up and down as a rookie, still trying to find his way, but I think the future is bright for him. They have to figure out what is the best position for him. Can he play right tackle? Does he need to kick inside the guard? I think he has promise. Needs to clean up some of the technical things, but he should be a good player. If I'm Sean Payton, I feel good about what he can be.
All right, what about on the defensive side of the ball?
Hey, man, I think Stephon Anthony has been a really good player. Team led the team in tackles, 112 tackles, all over the field. Active playmaker, did a lot of good things. More importantly, he was able to communicate the calls. Young guy tasked with a lot of responsibilities as the leader of their defense. He handled it very, very well, and we saw the production to go with some of the other things.
All right, Tampa Bay, good for the Bucs. You gave him an A, and I'll admit I was a little skeptical about Jameis Winston's transition, but it seemed like it was as smooth as any Bucs fan could have expected.
Yeah, I think it was very, very smooth for Jameis Winston. Started out with a number of turnovers, but then he kind of found his way in the middle of the year. He and Dirk Cutter seemed to be joined at the hip. I think this is a very good fit for him, this offensive style. The pieces around him also got good play from his offensive linemen, the rookie guys. Ali Marpet, Donovan Smith did a good job up front. Because he was protecting, he had some big bodies throw down the field. Jameis Winston had a very, very good year. 22 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. But I thought you saw that he's a winner. He's going to make that team a lot better.
Kwon Alexander, a smaller sample size because he missed 4 games because of suspension. Should he continue to grow in a new defensive system?
It would be interesting to see what he does in Mike Smith's system. Look, it's a similar system, a lot of cover 2, a lot of Tampa 2 principles. Kwon Alexander is an active playmaker playing alongside Levante David. He should be a very, very good player. Active, aggressive, instinctive, high motor player. You like to have those energetic bunnies on that second level of defense. Kwon Alexander is someone that you should be optimistic about.
And look, after watching Jerry Maguire, I have high expectations for any player with the first name Kwon. Right?
Hit the Kwon.
All right, good stuff from Bucky Brooks. You can read the rest of his grades from around the league at NFL.com.